Applewhite, creator and writer of the comedy series High Hopes. The idea for the show came from meeting a couple of youngsters up the valleys who were up to a bit of nonsense, and then discovering that they were being brought up by their 16-year-old auntie and her boyfriend. Anyway, this set me towards thinking about the nature of family life. This show is about the creation of a new family from bits of other families. It's about the kindness and humanity that is needed for that. Coming up, Mam reveals all, Claude messes up, Fagin smartens up, and the boys fall out. But to begin at the beginning, in the first ever episode, the boys break into the Applewhite house.
Don't you just go upstairs and wake him up with a cup of tea? Hello, we're housebreakers, the kettle's on. Never done it on purpose. Don't move or my mum will throw the pot over you, won't it, Mum?
Yes, and it's nearly full.
Where are you? Where are you from? I'm Dwayne Hoffman and he's Charlie Jenkins. We're sleeping rough, like.
Do your parents know where you are?
My mum and dad are divorced, like, and Charlie's mum's a prostitute, working at car parks in Neath. He don't know who his father is.
Only the proper car parks, the official ones, like.
I'm very old-fashioned and I like a lot of old stuff. I used to adore black and white television things, and I used to watch children's things like Wacko and Billy Bunter. But when I really got into it was with Hancock on radio, then television with Galton and Simpson.
My mum would see to you food and you washing and that, and I could slip you a few bob from time to time. So, what do you say?
Oh, Mr. Applewhite, me and Charlie wouldn't let you down, never.
Oh, it'll be lovely having young people in the house.
You best not call me Mr. Applewhite. Look, I got my cover to keep, see. Now, we should think of a different name, like a code, like.
I know. That film where Alec Guinness had a beard, he had apprentices and all. Oh, what was his name? Fagin, that's it.
Fagin? I like it. Fagin it is, then.
Fagin. Great.
Stick with me, boys. You won't go far wrong. I got high hopes for you, boys. Very high hopes indeed.
Well, writing together is always interesting. It's nice. I enjoy writing with another person. The way we start is to come up with the actual storyline for the episode. The theme is very important to us as well. Each episode is a theme. So we come up with the theme and the storyline, and the next step then is to break that down into actual scenes, individual scenes. Each scene, of course, must do certain things. Essentially, it must be funny, but it must also advance the plot. You can't have a scene there just for the sake of it being there.
The international money markets are in turmoil, man. At least they was this time last year. He's a kind of Walter Mitty-ish character, I guess, in a way. He's a dreamer. Totally disillusioned with life, the life he's had. Desperately yearning for a better life, but abjectly fails every time.
You are smart, you are.
Aye. Brains, see, boys? I'm an intellect, like. Now, if you want to make a success of a criminal career, you've got to be prepared to put in the hours. Too many youngsters nowadays wants the rewards without putting in the hard graft, like.
Yeah, you are. Boughton from the shop, this is. None of your homemade rubbish here.
Thanks, Mrs. Applewhite.
I remember doing the first ever episode, which was also the first ever time I'd done a sitcom in front of an audience. And I can remember the first couple of scenes. I remember this pounding in my ears. My sort of blood pressure had gone up so high. It was very much like a rabbit in the headlights.
Are you comfy?
Lovely, Mrs. Applewhite.
Blow up mattresses there.
Aye. There's another 48 of them in the attic.
I blew them up myself. It nearly killed me. Anyway, you have a nice sleep. And if there's anything you want in the night, well, you know your way around. Good night, boys.
Night.
No star.
Night, Duff. Night, Charles.
Until the arrival of the boys, he was profoundly lonely, but their presence and support has opened up new possibilities. They're beams of light in his darkness.
Yes, a bang on the head can do funny things. He's coming.
Hey, now say nothing is best, right? He may have been cured of his agoraphobia forever.
I'd like to think he could, in a way, because there's a big world out there for him, you know, a big world of adventure and discovery. Poor sod doesn't know much about at all.
Well, I think the heartache is the fact that he hasn't got a life. You know, he's totally at home. But she also loves him to pieces. I'll be so proud to show off my beautiful son in public again after all these years.
Right, let's hit the town, cats. Now here, I'll show you boys a bit of shoplifting. The classic method, like.
Oh, fantastic.
We go in separate now. You boys keep your eyes on me. Keep them peeled. You wouldn't even know I done it. Sleight of hand, see?
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind accompanying me to the manager's office?
It is up there in the top 5 or 6 shows that I have done on the grounds, principally of its writing, which is extraordinarily funny, clever, idiosyncratic, sometimes rude, but always done, always written with a warmth. A very good cast, and now a hugely loyal following audience. I mean, it is almost the same filming Up the Valleys. With High Hopes, we get the same kind of attention from the general public that we used to get when we filmed Only Fools and Horses. You know, it's... except the audiences in the Valleys of Wales are slightly more polite. They're delighted that you're there.
If I had to describe Hoffman to someone, I think he's a genuine sort of boy, you know.
I'd have looked after my mum and dad if they'd have stuck together. But they don't need me, see?
At least you know who they both was, though.
Aye.
If I'd have met Charlie in real life, I think I'd love him. He's probably the honest kind of bloke that is one of your best friends. You know, he'd always be there for you. Not knowing what he was getting into, probably. But I just love Charlie's innocence.
Hey, that Charlie's a bright lad. Where did you go to school then?
Neath, but I never went, mind.
Why not, love?
Because the teacher didn't like me.
Why not?
Because I set fire to his car.
Oh, well, I could go up and have a word with him. A misunderstanding it was.
No, he understood, Mrs. Applewhite. He just didn't like it.
Toyota it was.
Aye.
That's a Jap car. Japanese. They tortured my husband in the war, didn't they, Richard?
Aye.
They jumped up and down on his stomach with their boots on. And now they're going to deny you an education just because you set fire to one of their cars. It's not right.
Ma'am, who is not in the first flush of youth, often talks about her career as an erotic dancer, about the places she played and about her not infrequent sexual liaisons without inhibition.
I was in showbiz myself for a while, you know, when I was younger.
You never told me that, Mum.
Was he famous, Mrs. Applewhite?
Oh, yes, I was a stripper.
A what?
My mum was a stripper for a bit too, but she reckoned it was too demeaning. So she became a prostitute instead.
Where was you a stripper, Mum?
Oh, pubs, working men's clubs and that, you know.
How far did you go?
All over the South Wales area.
No, I mean, how far did you go?
Oh, the lot right down to my G-spot.
G-string, Mum.
I had to give it up in the end, though, because dancing barefoot on beer-soaked bars gave me athlete's foot.
What did Dad say?
To try antifungal.
The more I've played her, the more I've enjoyed her. I must be honest. I love her now. You know, I really do. I love her to bits. And the number of people who say they just love what she gets up to. The men think she's hilarious, you know.
I cannot hardly wait to hold you in my arms again and kiss your beautiful lips. Endless love, your own and Irene. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Oh, there's romantic. And Irene? Who the bloody hell's an Irene?
Richard.
Oh, ma'am, what's this?
Well, you found out now.
Found out what? Who's an Irene?
Sit down, son.
I don't want to sit down.
It was 1953, coronation year. Your poor dad was in hospital. He'd been there a long time. And somehow I found happiness in the arms of another.
Another what, ma'am?
Another man, son.
Oh?
Yes. The Japs jumped up and down on your dad's stomach, and Nyrin Snoddy jumped up and down on mine.
Oh, no! Not the Nyrin Snoddy, the famous cat burglar.
Yes, and Nyrin the cat, they used to call him.
He was a legend in Port Talbot, he was. Still is.
Oh, he was a good-looking man, like Cary Grant, smoked a pipe. Women were mad for him. They used to leave their windows open and sit waiting on their balconies in the spring night air, wearing only diaphanous silk negligees and their diamonds and pearls, in the hope that he would enter in search of their valuables and take advantage of them.
Oh, Port Talbot have changed a lot since then, man.
I'm back. The bomb scare in the pictures. It was those Methodists again. They don't like snuff movies themselves, so they try to spoil everybody else's fun. Oh, and Nyrin.
Oh, Elsie. Oh, hell.
First episode was always very difficult, in fact. And this to come as the second one, it was possibly my favourite ever one. And I particularly love the scene where Mam is upstairs with Snoddy and Fagin is downstairs really fretting about it and the boys tease him.
Hey, maybe they're at it, but...
No, not at their age, man. It's not possible.
Aye, it is. I seen a programme on Discovery Channel. Sex Over 70 it was called. They do it after they have a bath.
Mam and Nyrin haven't had a bath.
Usually, like, but sometimes they use, like, a little pump.
A little pump? What, for the bath water, is it?
No, for the blokes, Winky. They do pump it up and smile at each other.
Oh, my God, my neck have gone hard. I was getting very irate the fact my mother was upstairs with this man. I can't take it. And I said, just think of that, my lovely... Mum, my little old cuddly white-haired mum upstairs banging away like a shithouse door.
Protection racket is a dirty word, Doctor. 2 words, then. Yes, blackmail, that's better. Anyhow, if I don't get £400 in used notes, Ford's prescriptions will be in the hands of the medical authorities quicker than you can say, stick your tongue out. I personally have a lot of time for the police. I really like the police. I admire them to the point of affection, to be honest.
Can't you do something about it, Sergeant Ball?
You know me. I'd love to, Mrs. Applewhite. But the clever buggers, they always watch their backs. I can't stand the hoity-toity sods. No, I'd like to have them one at a time on my own in a darkened urinal. I'd give them something to ponder on. But unfortunately, limited by the constraints of the legal system. He's not a man to be messed with at all. I like him. I really like him. I like him very much as a person.
Hey, Sarge, you know you asked me yesterday, how'd you keep an idiot in suspense?
Yes?
Well, you said you'd tell me the answer today. So, how'd you do it, Sarge?
So many policemen have told me that every station has a Claude, and that Sergeant Ball is the sort of copper that other coppers admire.
Hey, Sarge, you used to be in a pop band, didn't you?
Yes.
Look at this.
£5,000.
We could reinvest it in sex toys from the Far East. We could buy 100 rubber women with that, complete with kissable lips and an instruction manual. And then we could sell some of them on. There's a lucrative market for them amongst divorced middle-aged men and farmers. We'd clean up. We could form a duo, Sarge.
Good thinking, Claude. Ball is understanding and forgiving of Claude's inadequacies because he knows he has a good heart. Both of them are really good friends of the Applewhite family, who Claude visits regularly to indulge his passion for cream cakes, which he gets from Mrs. Coles' shop on the station account.
So what else you been up to then, Claude?
Checking the contents of a sex shop in Porth.
Oh, that's exciting.
It was extremely difficult to keep a straight face at times with Mum's lines. I mean, when the audience were falling about with laughter and I knew the camera was coming over to me and I had to react to this, it was nail-bitingly difficult. One particular moment where she was where Claude was talking about a break-in a sex shop in Porth, I remember. And I said, Mum was pouring tea, and I said to Claude, was it robbery? He says,
£19.50 for a vibrating busy beaver, batteries not included. I call it robbery, aye.
And Mum, serving the tea, says,
Cheap latex rubbish they are, too. You could make a better one yourself with a lump of putty and an old alarm clock.
Now that, I couldn't believe how I could keep a straight face through that. It was just so painful.
Claude's defining characteristics, I guess, involve sex and cream cakes. I think that's what it sort of boils down to. There's two sort of his north and south, but he's just an innocent as well. But I think most things revolve around where he can get his next cake from.
Yeah. You're looking very dapper today, Claude.
Aye, we're on high alert, we are, Mrs. Applewhite. Sergeant Ball have warned me I can't eat no cream cakes in case the cream falls on my tunic, like.
Well, they're sensible.
Aye. They look nice, though. I do love them. It's a VIP, see, visiting the area, like.
Who's that then, Claude?
I can't tell you, Mrs. Applewhite. That's more than my job's worth. Security, see? Official Secrets Act, like.
Oh, he's so professional, isn't he, Mary?
Yes. He's a credit to his uniform. I've always said it, Olive. So you won't be going to the party tonight then, Claude?
No, I'd like to, but do you think I could chance it? Have a cake, a cream on, like, if I'm careful. I mean, all the cream is held in a cream on, innit? By the pastry, like.
I won't tell anyone, Claude.
No, me love.
All right, just the one. I'll use my hanky as a bib. He doesn't deal with real people very well. Real women. I think he's fine with blokes, because, you know, he knows where he stands. But, no, women, he's hopeless.
So, tell me what you look for first in a woman.
The bit where you do attach the pump.
You are a pervert, aren't you?
I don't know.
I bet you get up to all sorts of things.
Oh, aye.
You and Sergeant Ball.
Oh, aye. No, Sergeant Ball, he's a married man. He fathered a child. We don't do that.
I'm not talking sex. I'm talking about bending the rules a bit. Maybe more than a bit. You're an exciting guy. I can see that.
Aye. Well, we do move in dangerous circles, like, you know, big-time criminals and that. We do often go to nightclubs, and we force petty criminals to pay us money or we'll arrest them. Well, Sergeant Paul does the actual forcing, like, but I'd keep watch.
Fascinating. What's this, then?
That's my torch.
So it is.
What I found difficult about Hoffman, because I'm a man naturally of such vast intellect, dumbing down. Very, very hard. Very hard. That's what I found.
Charlie came very easily to me, I'm not sure why.
This insect video isn't pornographic, Charles. We're wasting our time copying these. No one's going to find them pornographic.
They might.
Do you find insects sexy, Hen?
I never thought about it.
Well, think now, Hen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aye, some insects. Them ones who eat each other while they're having it off. Praying mantises was on Discovery. The woman who bite the bloke's head off when he's on the job and he carries on going without an egg, like.
Yeah, that's believable.
Aye, he's got another brain in his arse.
But needless to say, like, but it's not erotic, is it?
It is the praying mantises.
But praying mantises don't buy videos, do they?
I have a particular liking for Hoffman. And the reason I like his character so much is because there is an inference within his character that he might have a very successful future. There is something in him, there is a spark which suggests good things may happen in his life. And that's true. A lot of people from the valleys and that, they have quite difficult childhoods and go on to great things. You know, I mean, there are a lot of talented and intelligent people. And Hoffman is probably the most intelligent person in the series. I'd say when it all boils down, they're probably more intelligent than Sergeant Ball even, although Sergeant Ball has a great practicality that Hoffman doesn't have. Over the series, I've quite enjoyed watching Hoffman making more decisions. There's a couple of instances in the later series where the whole sort of family unit is stumped about a problem, and Hoffman all of a sudden comes up with a way out. And I remember talking to Boyd, and Boyd said that was a conscious thing, you know, that Hoffman's intelligence in comparison to the other characters sort of came to fruition through the series. That was nice to see, and nice to act as well.
The truth is, you learn more from failure than success in this business. It's repeated failure that's got me where I am today.
Oh, I'm very fond of him, yeah. I'm very fond of him and his quirks and his general attitude and his failure. I think people like a failure, as long as they're funny.
Ask him. He might know where Snoddy is.
Nah, it's complicated though, boss. He don't like me.
Why not?
I murdered his best friend, Dixie.
I got a theory. It was a total accident, but he was so pleased to think that people could think that he was a murderer that he just put his hands up and said, yes, I did it.
You know, I done time. Well, it was for the big one. Murder.
Murder?
Only second degree, like. There's a bloke called Dixie. We was having this disagreement about a second-hand telly, and he chased me up onto this roof.
Pulling Richard's hair, he was.
All right, ma'am. Anyway, he went over the edge and fell onto a spike in the garden. I remember looking down at him, staring up at me with a spike sticking out of his chest.
What was his last words, Bud?
The vertical hole won't stop going round unless you stick your finger in the aerial socket.
Oh, you boys don't want to fall out over a tart, man?
It's no good, Claude. Hoffman is a parasite.
I thought he was from Blackwood.
He always wants what I've got.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Keep me greasy hands off my girl, or...
Oh, what?
Or I'll give you a pasting.
I don't think he's a vastly dishonest person. I think being dealt the hand he's been dealt, he knows how to grab an opportunity and make the best of a bad situation. I mean, for two boys that have pretty much grown up on the streets, you know, they could have turned out a lot worse.
Right, lad. No biting, no scratching, no headbutting, no strangling, no clawing at the crown jewels, no kneeing below the waist, no poisoning, no going for the eyes, and definitely no knifing. Do you understand?
Can we stick the boot in?
No, that should have been on the list. All right, then?
Aye, bring it on.
Let's run more.
Right, shake hands back to your corner. Seconds out, round one. Mrs. Applewhite?
I wasn't looking. He hit me when I wasn't looking.
That's not fair, surely.
Not looking is a big mistake in the boxing ring, Mrs. Applewhite.
I'll kill him! He's hiding behind Sergeant Ballman! Kill him!
Fighting is never the answer. Well, this background, I'm still trying to live it down. Everywhere I go, people start bringing it up, you know.
You working, love?
No, I'm a widow.
A widow? Sounds good. What do you do?
Polish ornaments, hoovering, cooking.
Sounds great. How much?
Well, all of it, except when we have takeaways.
I'll give you 30 quid to polish my ornaments.
30 quid? Well, I would, only I can't now, because I'm keeping watch.
Pity. You don't know of another old lady who will polish them for me.
Try outside the bingo when they're coming out.
Good idea. Thanks, Grandma. Nice one. I'll recommend you to my friends. Where are you going, Mum?
Out, son.
What are you taking the ironing board with you for?
Well, I might need to do a little bit of ironing when I'm out. You never know. In real life, I am not an entertainer.
There's my mum. Go on, Mum.
I'm an old lady.
That's bringing a new vocalist just like that. It's against the rules, isn't it?
But I don't know, Sarge.
Oh, it's not.
Go on, Mum. Ask my Mum. Go on, Mum.
When I did the strip and the rap, what I loved about that costume was the number of underlayers that she had on for this so-called strip. There were about 4,000 straps, like a vest and about that wide strap and a bra and well, you name it. I had about 6 straps that I had to get off one by one. I'm an old lady. I'm a very old lady. I'm a sweet old lady and my hair is white. I'm an old lady with a surgical stock and I'm reeling and a rocking and I'm 5 foot 3.
The one you were slinging your colostomy background in.
No, it was Steve Meo's wonderful line after that. I bet there wasn't a rush for seats in the front row at that.
Actually, the opening title sequence contains scenes from about 5 different places on the grounds that I thought it would be sensible to protect the innocent, or the guilty, whichever way you wish to look at it.
You should have kept your knickers on them.
I didn't want to disappoint my public, son.
Well, thank God it wasn't in widescreen.
You must be the oldest stripper in Wales, Mrs. Applewhite.
No, there's a 92-year-old woman who appears regular every Sunday lunchtime at the Ponticama Social Club, so Mrs. Coles tells me. She finishes her act by disconnecting a colostomy bag and swinging it round her leg.
I bet there's no big rush to sit in the front few rows.
And there's more of the best bits from the High Hopes next week at the same time here on BBC One Wales. Next tonight, a premiere with Sigourney Weaver facing every parent's nightmare.